So we know the other day files were unsealed by a federal judge stemming from a civil lawsuit from alleged victim Virginia Roberts Guffrey. She's the one we've seen all over the place. I believe she was in, was she on a BBC special at first, and then she was
on the Netflix.
She was on the Netflix one. I can't remember what network she came out first. I think she went to Miami local papers like the Miami Herald, the Palm Beach Post first when she went there.
They've done great journalism on this topic, by the way.
We knew about a lot of the information inside these documents, fam, that they were going to be unsealed. But there was also some stuff we learned. Some things for sure we suspected, but some things we learned. So I've got you the 3 biggest bombshells right out the gate of the documents. You ready, fam?
Yeah, fam.
All right, let's start with Ghislaine. We found out right out of the gate that Ghislaine lies right out of the gate about when she last talked and had contact with Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell says she hadn't been in contact with Jeffrey Epstein for more than 10 years before his death. So she hasn't talked to him since 2009, I think she said, and stuff like that. But fam, what happens? What do we have here? Oh, in the documents, that's not the one. Where's that? Did I put it in there, John? That's the one. I know. Can you read that real quick? Emails between Epstein and Maxwell. Epstein instructs Maxwell how to deny the allegations. Epstein tells Maxwell she had done nothing wrong. Go to parties. Deal with it. That's how they deal with it. And it shows out that the email, and look at his email address. JEE vacation, right? G vacation. Jeffrey Ernest Epstein vacation. And she, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much they were in communication in 2015, fam. 2015. So right out the gate, she lied about when she was in last contact with Jeffrey Epstein. So this does not look good on her. This does not help her out in her case. The judge was mad. It was obvious right here. Okay, with me, you have done nothing wrong. And I would urge you to start acting like it. Go outside, head high. Head high. I lost my face. Go to parties, deal with it. And he talks about connections he had with that Swedish ocean ambassador. Remember, she was going to take on ocean and the polluting of the ocean. That was going to be her issue, save the whales. But everything backfired since she got caught using children for currency. So that was the first thing right out of the gate. Well, okay, Ghislaine is lying. That's it. The number 2 one, Bill Clinton, fam. It's the second big. I mean, why is this guy not in custody? Bill was on the island with Ghislaine, Jeffrey, and 2 unnamed ladies. And this Technofog Twitter right here has dropped so much stuff over here. I got all the wrong tweets in the wrong spot, man. Okay. You can see Bill Clinton was on Epstein's island with Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and 2 young girls. 2 young girls. And in this Newsweek article, too, as well, I just got this little clip over here. And I want to read what was said, because this is what's talking. And it says, in questioning. Johnny, if you go to the Newsweek article I have, and you go to Yes, I Do. Go down a little bit. Oh, right there. Okay. Right above that, it says, in questioning by lawyer Jack Scarola, Guffrey was asked, do you have any recollection of Jeffrey Epstein specifically telling you that Bill Clinton owes me favors? She goes, yes, I do. It was a laugh, though. He would laugh it off. You know, I remember asking Jeffrey, what's Bill Clinton doing here on Epstein Island kind of thing? And he laughed it off and said, well, he owes me favors. He never told me what those favors were. I never knew. I didn't know if it was serious. It was just a joke. He told me a long time ago that everyone owes him favors. They're all in each other's pockets, fam. So you can see stuff that's going on that, he's implicating that, they owe him favors. They got things. He's got things on them, possibly. And also, too, as well, I just want to point out, too, as well, in that Netflix document, there was also an IT guy as well. Yeah,
the documentary? Yeah.
Yes, that said that he had saw Bill Clinton on the island. So now we have from 2 people saying that Bill Clinton was on the island. And I want to point out that Bill Clinton denies even being on the island, period. Not the fact that he goes, oh, I was on the island, but nothing happened on the island. He denies ever going on the island. He'd been there, fam.
Yeah, and 2 witnesses had him on there. He's been on the logs 27 times, right?
27 times on the flight logs.
27 times.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a number 2 bombshell drop. But fam, what do you think? Are they going to ever take him into custody? They're going to ever do anything? I put my tweet up. I said, not only that he was just horrible when it came to policy. I mean, the guy gutted welfare, took people off, food stamps. He signed NAFTA, which just killed manufacturing in the United States. He signed the crime bill that Joe Biden, our good friend Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, had been a part of, co-signed. He also bombed Yugoslavia. Not the fact that if it was right or wrong, it's the fact that he said that God told him how to do it. He repealed Glass-Steagall, and he signed the Telecommunications Act. He gave Big Sugar. People don't know what he did. He directly dirtied our home state of Florida. Mm-hmm. Disgusting. He killed the intercoastal there because he went behind Big Sugar, and their processing of the Big Sugar killed the intercoastal with all the chemicals, killed the manatees, and those manatees are sea cows. I don't deal with that, fam.
I know. Especially as a vegan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was the second biggest drop. Was number 3 was Ghislaine Maxwell. Number 2 was, we're working backwards, Bill Clinton. But the number 1 biggest drop, fam, of this whole thing, the FBI.
The FBI.
The FBI was implicated in so many different ways.
But they're one of the intelligence agencies that told us about Russia. I trust them with my life.
Well, before we get to that, let's start off where this all started from. Remember when Acosta, fam, Alex Acosta, when he was hired, when he was being interviewed to work for the Trump campaign, they asked him about Epstein. He specifically said, "Don't touch Epstein." They told him, "Don't touch that." He was like, "I was told when I was in Florida that I couldn't mess with Jeffrey Epstein, that he was intelligence. Don't touch him. He's above your pay grade." Well, fam, it's starting to think like that the intelligence group he belonged to might have been the FBI. So you go to that techno fog again with the drops. Now let's put this into context. We previously broke that the FBI DOJ in 2008 knew about Epstein. Main Justice, DC DOJ, was helping run the Epstein case and even delayed the grand juries. And it's funny now, and I put that text up and I put up there over myself. I said, it's funny how we heard the people on the left praising Robert Mueller, saying he was a real patriot. God bless him for going after Trump. It turns out that while he was director of the FBI, his agency was protecting Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Cutting plea deals. Remember everybody talks about that plea deal that Epstein cut? Well, yeah, it was Mueller all along. Also, too, we have to implicate James Comey because in another one, because this talks about it. This is big. The FBI was in contact with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's minor victim back in 2014. This is the next tweet. Yet they did nothing. They did nothing, fam. And it has the documents unsealed. So I put 2014, James Comey was the FBI director. Maybe that's why the Clinton-Obama-friendly State Department pushed Russiagate so hard. They all had connections to the biggest pedophile of our times, Epstein. Yet they scapegoated Putin so you wouldn't look at them. They desperately needed Hillary Rodham Clinton to win.
Yep.
Bill needed it. The FBI needed it. Everybody on his list needed it. They needed protection, and they did not get it, fam.
Yep, and I think Donald Trump and some on the right are also involved, but I don't think they're as involved as Clinton has been. I mean, the ties to Clinton are just non-stop, and the fact that people are now realizing that Russiagate was not only a distraction for the ineptitude of the Democratic Party when it came to not only their policies or lack thereof, the elections and their rigging and Bernie Sanders and what they did to him, but also because we're looking at 2016, 2015, the Epstein stuff, because they did not want any ties to that. And if Hillary Clinton had been president, all of this would have gone away. They would have just shoved it away. You would have never heard from that. None of this would have happened. This is why, once again, as awful as Trump is, he's bringing out all the ugliness that was in our system and just putting it out there. It's not like he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart. It's just happening. And it's allowing us to see the truth. And some of these truths people just don't want to deal with because they're disgusting.
There was an article that broke too today that said that Prince Andrew, who was also implicated in these files, and they held on to a lot of names. So we're waiting. I'm holding my breath. As soon as I get out of this show, I'm going to start digging and see what came out of these court cases today, because they said the judge would release many more names in the weeks to come. Because they don't want to release the names because maybe they want the federal authorities to go after these people. But one thing to point out, fam, is that under the Obama administration, Epstein was protected.
Yep.
Say what you want. I don't give a shit. Because here's another thing, fam. Donald Trump was not implicated in any of this document. He wasn't fingered. They went after him. They talked. They had asked Virginia Roberts about Trump back in the days. She said nothing, no recollection, never saw him. I'm not protecting Donald Trump here because I still think he's part of the cover-up.
Of course.
I think he's made some deal with, with maybe the elites to do certain things. Like for Israel, him moving the embassy into Jerusalem. I'll give you what you want. I'll protect you, but I want to take down Clinton on these other ends. Maybe that's, who knows? I don't know. I always thought he was part of the cover-up. A lot of people were pointing to the fact that, you know, what he did in New York when he fired the attorney general over there, and the federal judge, people were like, oh, he's firing the judge because he's trying. Well, as soon as the judge is out of the way, here comes the new person, right? And all of a sudden, these files are opened up. So, unfortunately for you people out there, or I don't know, fortunately, whatever, Trump was not implicated in these files whatsoever. So far, we got to see. Not saying he's not part of the cover-up, not even saying he was not part of stuff going on, but we just don't have the hard evidence the way we have the evidence of, like, Clinton.
I mean,
also,
they
Dershowitz.
hung out. They were
back
friends.
in the days, yeah.
But beyond that, we really don't have anything linking him like we have linking Clinton and others.
Yes, Dershowitz,
like
too.
Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew, like I said, there's an article that came out that said the London police destroyed evidence that would have implicated where Prince Andrew was in the night that the alleged thing had happened. And don't get me wrong, I mean, that's just some deep, dark, dirty shit. A lot of people are going to see this in these Western governments when it comes to the UK, because there's a lot of stuff that went on in France. France has got a lot of stuff to speak for. They said that Ghislaine had a lot of stuff done, a lot of work she was doing in France. So we're just going to keep our eyes and our ears open to what's going on. But the FBI has been implicated in this hardcore, fam. They were protecting Epstein. They were helping him. How deep does it go? We need to start getting some people hung like Mussolini style. That's just my personal opinion.